Carl and Dan here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it is track by track time. Making a debut on this series, it is Can't Swim with their debut studio album, Fail You Again, released through Pure Noise Records on March 10th, 2017. It's Can't Swim. You know them. I know them. Dan knows them. Yeah, everybody knows them, right?
Yeah. I feel like this is like a bit of a band we've got some history with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Considering the first time either of us have heard of them was because they were supporting Creeper at the end of 2017. And I remember seeing them live and being like, yeah, this is sick. I'm really enjoying this. And I went
I
home and listened to one
remember.
of their songs and went, fuck yeah, they were great. I didn't think that like the last time that was one of the last times I saw Creeper when they were not shit. Um, and I came away enjoying the support band more.
Well, I didn't come away in the same mindset as you. They've kind of been a thing hanging around me like a bad smell for the last 7 years. But I do like the band, so it's not actually, I'm not insulting them in any way, shape, or form. We have a long one to get through here, though. So let's dive in with what's your big idea? A bouncy, catchy start. There's some nice melody and the chorus is solid. Not hearing anything to extend in here, but there's nothing wrong with this either. It helps that it's short, but it does seem like it's about to go somewhere really big and then just ends.
I get that. Yeah, I think this is a great track to open up this album with because there's so much different elements they're very clearly drawing from.
Mm.
And I really like it. It's upbeat. It's a bit heavy. It's still got those really soft melodic elements. Um, that you, if you know Can't Swim at all, that you'd expect.
Fair enough. We won't sleep. The pace is kept nice and peppy here. The alternative ringing is far more prominent. I'd like to call this one a bit boring, except the chorus is so damn good. It lifts the rest of the track. Again, I don't think there's overall anything wrong with the track. It's just not that remarkable outside of that chorus.
Yeah. Chorus is catchy as shit, and I really, really like the melodies here. Um, I think this song is really, really pretty.
Yeah, okay. That's a choice of words. Okay. Um, 50 million, the dollars, as it's symbolized. The trend continues here of solid pop rockiness with some intriguing moments and big choruses. I again like the chorus of this one, but the overall track is lifted by a little more erratic instrumentation here and there. One of the more robust sounding tracks with nice melodic moments too.
Yeah, I'm echoing a similar sentiment here with it's got those melodic elements you're expecting, and it's also got a fat fucking breakdown at the end that
Mm.
comes out of nowhere, which was really cool. I think if I got to see Can't Swim again, because I don't think I've seen them since we in 2019, we saw them in that venue that shut down like a week after. Um, it was the Borderline.
Oh,
We saw
okay.
them at the start of May.
Right.
And it was our first time there, and it was also our last time there because that week the venue shut down like a week afterwards.
Ah.
But I thought the venue was really nice, so I was like really bummed out about it. It's a really nice place, but I think they couldn't afford it anymore. But I'd love to see this song live.
Yeah, it's very possible, I suppose. Not like Can't Swim are still around.
Yeah,
Friend, this one has a bit more passion going on, just not in the vocals either. But once again, it's a deeply melodic affair. It's a sweet track with some strong touches here and there, in particular, a powerful reprise right at the end. Again, though, I have to say I'm not blown away. And at this point, I was like, oh, I'm finding this album a little ordinary. Like, I'm not like going wow yet.
okay, okay. I really like this track. It's really catchy. I'm a big fan of the riffs they've got going on, and I love the vocals here. And this song hits like quite close to home. I feel like I'm in a time of my life where like I might be gaining and losing friends at like quite a fast pace. You know, I'm meeting all these new people, and I have lost friends that have been very close to me recently.
Mm.
Just through drifting away. You know, I meet people at college that I haven't spoken to in a couple of years, and I feel it.
It happens to us all as life moves forward and as life moves on and everybody goes in different directions. Yeah, I get that. Well put. It's really strong words. Quitting. More melody, but this time on the more extreme side, as this is a highly melodramatic listen. I do like it though. What could I possibly say bad about this kind of sweet and reflective music? At this stage, I almost feel it's foolish to expect anything different.
Yeah, I think this track is fucking great. It takes so long to get into it, but I think it pays off really nicely.
Mm,
Um, it's really pretty again.
it
It's
is.
really slow. It's really pretty, and it pays off for it.
It does indeed. Hey, Amy, I got really worried with those initial few seconds, but thankfully this one recovers enough and shows a band able to make pace work for their sound too. It's a bit of a sing-along, even if some of the elongated words I find annoying. The track is given a big lift though by the last minute and that explosion of passion.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm.
So much great stuff going on here. Even if this is not one of my favorite tracks on the album, there's so much I can pick out here and be like, no, this is great. This is great.
I think it's a very intriguing track.
Yeah.
Stranger. I thought this one was sounding really samey at first, but give Can't Swim some serious credit as they change my mind and deliver a raucous effort with wonderful touches of melody. It is a return to the uber catchiness that dominated so much at the start. Big fan of this one.
This was the track that I came home and listened to after we saw them that
Mm.
night. This was the song because this was the one I remember as well. I remember hearing this live and going, fuck, that was catchy.
Yeah.
And going home, and I went home and this was obviously the most popular one as well. And I was like, yeah, that's sick. I listened to that for a bit and then I went through the whole album. And yeah, this song is excellent.
I agree. Then we get One Shot. Speaking of going back to the beginning, this is a short and fiery tune with a fun touch of punk rock to it. I like this a lot, especially as how different those being gang vocals and the thumping instrumentation is.
Only got one shot. You never have to spend the night alone. You've only got one. You've only got one.
There's definitely a heavier side of Can't Swim that we're seeing in this track, which they definitely would lean into a little further in more recent years. You only get a little bit of like a tease of it here. It's definitely a weird track for the album. Definitely not one of my favorites, but I think it serves the album well.
Yeah. Kid. Funny thing, I'm not actually bored, which is saying a lot as this album isn't the most creative or varied. Speaking of which, this is fine. It is fun guitar melodies, a little more playful, a solid chorus, a Can't Swim special, as I wrote.
Yeah, I think it's heartfelt in all the right ways. It's melodramatic. It's got those elements of heavy you come to expect. It's very fucking Can't Swim, as you put it.
There it is. Show me. A hearty melodic listen with a great chorus. I really find myself getting into this one. It's not different, but it's done so well, I can't complain.
Yeah, it's pretty as fuck as well. So much melody and emotion in each word that's half screamed, half sung, you know. You feel it.
Yeah. Penultimate track, Molly's Desk. Okay, now I might be getting a bit bored. I feel like this could have been wrapped up by now, the album, and this track is so wholly unmemorable, it shouldn't exist. It lacks a spark, and more importantly, something to hook me in.
Yeah, it's definitely not up there with one of my favorites, but I think in an album so strong, full of so many strong tracks, that it's okay to have one or two that don't hit the mark.
Well, it's inevitable, really, when you got this many.
Yeah.
And then we get all the moves we make are in the dark. And I wrote, we still here. And I'm like, no, you know what? I actually don't want to get like that, especially with a good finale like this. Thumping groove, big pop rock melody, a little moodier, and a chorus that has a heavier rhythm. It's a strong ending.
One day you'll see it's the choice you make.
It's a strong ending, and I think it's once again very Cancer Women. I think they were going for a very thematic here, and I'm not sure they had fully found themselves by this point. I'm pretty sure this is their debut album. They had like an
Yeah,
EP
it is.
beforehand. You've
I
got
wonder if-
elements of that heaviness, and you've got elements of the melodrama. You've got a breakdown in this song. Lots of fucking screaming and shouting, the gang vocals.
Yeah,
I think this was a very nice way to tie off the album and be like, look, this is what we're doing. And I could see this one popping off live.
agreed with that. I do think you summed it up there nicely. I do think Can't Swim is still trying to find and work out perhaps exactly who they were by the difference between certain tracks here and there and the styles and so on. But overall, I find it a middle of the road album. It lacks creativity. It certainly lacks the creativity that I would enjoy from Can't Swim in the future. But still, there's mostly just good tracks on it, so I can't be too critical.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
All right, top 3 tracks. Go on, him.
I'm gonna go with completely forgotten. Friend, Quitting, and Stranger.
We match up on Stranger. So that's the one clearly you need to check out. And I threw in 50 million and One Shot, as those were my 2. But you've certainly got plenty of choice there. But Stranger's the one. It is.
Stranger is the one.
There you go. It's Failure again by Can't Swim. You got any thoughts yourself you want to share? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.